All right. Hi, everyone. Today, what I wanted to do together is a couple of things. Let's see what we get to. One thing I think is interesting for us to do is this one recent feature request that I added, actually. And that is that to add a source that produces a binary mask. I think this is cool. Right now, the background removal doesn't do a binary mask. It just removes the background, which is cool. But with a binary mask, you can do things like the recent work I've seen in OBS that you can add things to your do masks and like do borders that just cool effects with borders and masks and so on. So I thought it's a good idea if we do that. Also, it's a good exercise. Besides, the background removal probably needs like something like a source. It's only a filter, so we can probably add it as a source to produce a binary mask. And yeah, I mean, let's see what we can do. I have no idea how to do this, and we'll just have to learn this on the way with background removal. So background removal right now is set up. This is the background removal filter. It's set up as a filter, as a video, so it's not async. It's a sync video, and it's a filter. All right, one thing I'm thinking that maybe my stream here is set up differently. This is not. All right, let's see, OBS background removal. All right, let's change this for other people. Let's build. Change this up for others that are joining. I want to see what's going on. Okay. All right. Back to background removal. No. Hi, Beat Leo 28. Thanks for the question. I'm all right. So you're talking about Polyglot, most likely, right? How does this work? So it could translate things live for you with Polyglot. It's possible. It's possible to do that. We can attempt to do this now in OBS. We could try, but let's see. You need two things. One, you need like speech transcription, and then you need translation, live translation, which is possible. It's possible to do that. So what do we have here? Video capture. Let's ditch this and add let's add a media capture. And I have some dummy, yeah, like a dummy thing here. It's just sound. So we'll add LocalVocal transcription, right? And yeah, so you can see in the logs, it's starting to transcribe. You're getting the live captions. So actually, let's add a text source. LocalVocal subs. That's fine. I don't care. And we'll set LocalVocal to output to there. All right, so we're getting the captions now. All right, it's kind of too long, so we can, we can do things like where do I do this? Transform. No. Where was it? Vertical alignment. No. Yeah, anyway. I got the text in here. So the text is coming in. Now you want to translate this live, right? So we can, got Polyglot in here. Let's start the server. So the server is on now. And what I could do is that I can add a Polyglot LV subs. Right, we'll add Polyglot LV subs now. We need to connect it to HTTP 127.0.0.1 translate. Yeah, I'll explain this in a second. Let's just get this thing working. We'll get our LV subs in here as an input to the translation, and we'll do text input. That's going to be the subs, and then source lang. We'll do English, Latin, and target lang. We'll do Spanish, Latin. Yeah, let's do this. Right? Okay. That's probably not going to work because JSON is not. Now I got 18, 180, 80. Give it a moment. Okay. So yeah, we're getting the translation. Now the Spanish here is blah blah blah. El poder. My Spanish is not that good, but I think it's okay. All right, so we'll save this. Now the other thing we need to do is skip empty, skip same. And we can actually lower this down, but I think 1 second is kind of okay, but we can even lower this down to like something like this. And then we're getting like a live translation, I think, right? We may need to reduce this. There's going to be a lag between the input and the output for sure. Because it needs to translate, it needs to get this, read this, translate, and only then come out with the output. So there's going to be a difference there. Anyway, that's how it works. So you can get like LocalVocal translation that's like local on your machine, or you can use this like the subtitles, the cloud subtitles thing. Works the same way. And then Polyglot is just a this is just a URL source. It's just URL source. So Yeah. Anyway, this is kind of how it works. Really, it's really very, very basic, simple setup. Okay. All right, very cool. Let's get back to background removal. Let's see if we can get in the video capture. I don't think it's gonna work. Yeah. So we'll have to bring in something like an image or something. Yeah. So let's actually disable this, because this is eating up my CPU. Anyway, all right, let's get back to background removal. We have background removal is basically a filter, but we want to create a source. That means that we need to add in a new thing. All right, so let's just do this and make sure that we're on a branch. Branch Roy, add bg bag, bg mask source. Just make sure we're on a branch. Now let's copy this and say background mask source info background removal mask, and this will be a type source. That's fine. Removal mask source. Now actually let's change all the instances of filter. Let's change them to source. Okay, and so let's see background mask source. Right, that's kind of how it looks. Mask source, and now let's change filter in here to be mask source. Okay, and in here, I need you, but in here, I got a bunch of sources in here. So all right, okay. So let's change this to mask source, except this one needs to be source. Mask source, whatever. Okay. Let's save these guys. Mask source. All right, we're gonna have to create a new file here. Background mask source cpp. Yeah, we're gonna follow roughly what we're doing there. So let's include .h. And now we're gonna have to implement all these guys, and there are rather these guys, right? All these guys are gonna have to get an implementation. right? So let's have a look, shall we? Okay. Background removal mask source. Okay, and then we got a bunch of things that we need to do. But let's not worry about them for now. Let's get started with the properties. That's going to be the meat of the thing. So what I'm imagining, let's get OBS working. What I'm imagining will happen with the background source. I want to add in an image, but I don't have an image. So let's go grab something like that. It's something like that. I don't think it's like AI generated. All right, so let's grab this guy and save it. Save it there. Okay, thank you, Mr. Person. Back in OBS. Okay, so let's grab this image. Look good. And we'll add background removal. Ooh. What's going on? Oh my. It's unable to work on the GPU right now. I think it's busy. Weird. Very strange. I have it like working on a different application, so I think it's just crapping out on me. Okay. All right. That's unfortunate. But what I'm thinking for the mask is that we will have a source here, a new source that will give us the background, that will give us the background mask, essentially. We'll call it like background mask or something like that. And within it, we will be able to, we'll get maybe a dumbed down version of all of this. But essentially the properties of the source will be what other source you want the image to come from, right? What other source you want the image to come from. And then it will do it will apply the thing, and we'll just get the mask, the background or the foreground mask is what I'm thinking it would do. Not very simple. Okay, so we can grab it from there. That's what I'm thinking my the background mask source will be. So let's set up the properties for that. And then we'll have to basically grab frames from another source. We'll have to figure out how that works. But yeah. All right, so let's exit here. a moment and get back in here. All right, so properties. I would like to scan. I would like to offer like a drop down to choose a source. Maybe before this, we can just add it here too. Extern, we're gonna have to add background removal mask source info, which comes from here. Removal mask source info. And we shall add it in here as well. Plugin loaded successfully. That should be okay. Okay. All right, properties. Let's start here. I'm not lining up. Proper. Oh, come on. These. Let's see. We need to create a properties object and then add sources. Put background. Add sources background removal. There's going to be a list. Background source. Source of background, something like that. All right. No. Nope. String. All right. So I have in a different project. Let's say LocalVocal. That's fine. I have a way of scanning sources and bringing them in. So let's put this down here. Add sources to list. Now we're going to have to change the IDs to support all of the source types that we want, which is, like any kind of video sources and basically sources that produce a video output. So it could be an image, it could be a media source, it could be a video source. So yeah, these are specifically text and they're based on the ID. So yeah, we could have a look inside OBS to see what's the IDs of these sources, the video producing sources, so we can find them. That's interesting. Okay. The other part of this is actually getting the list. So enum sources. That's what we need. Right? We need enum sources. Add sources to list. We have that. That's going to be text, files, and then subs. Okay, one last thing. I don't think this is going to run until I basically skip. Video tick can just return. That's fine. But like video render, I'm going to have to skip. Seems like there's nothing much that we need to do. It's just returning, not doing anything. So maybe this source will actually work now. Let's compile and see. Yep. Let's run this on OBS and see if we can get something to work. If we're going to get a list of sources, but we need the actual IDs of the actual sources. So that's weird. Leave OBS. Let's see, what do we have? OBS source get ID. Let's have a look here. Source get ID. What do I have? Sources, group sources, scene. So get type. That's interesting. We may want to just get the input types, right? So not the filters or anything. Got get name. Got settings. Video. Source update video. Video render. Interesting. Interesting. Filter get target. The source of filter returns a target of the source. No, it's not that. Skip. Position. Weird stuff. Okay. So let's get color space video render. Source update. We may just need to go with their IDs. Figure out the IDs though. Video tick. Do not async video. Source video. I get the source info. I can get the I can just see if it has video. And I can get the type and the thing. Maybe, let's see, can I get the source info? Where am I? Okay, I'm getting OBS source. Just source info. I got OBS source info. OBS source info. I'm looking for, see if I can get the info from the source. Let's get these plain. Register source. No, what's this? Nothing. Can I get the info? Source update, get width, get height. What's going on? Okay, nope. Okay. A reference counted. Weak reference. That's fine. Yes, source files. Duplicated header. Register source. That's not that. That's not that. We need to figure out OBS source. This OBS source pointer T. OBS source D pointer. Okay. Fine. Type create. I got the info. That's fine. But we just need the source. We can't get the source, the info from the source. Can't get the info from the source. So we are left with very specific things we can do. All right. Let's see if this works. Nevertheless, where are we? Was unable to build. Yep. It's not going to work if we're not going to add it into our CMake. Lists here. So we need these things in here. OBS. Mask source info C. And mask source EP. It's not going to work otherwise. How do I do that? Well, come on, get type, source get type. Should start here at least. I'll get us somewhere. What's going on? So fill error cannot include background mask dash source. Correct. Message.h. Okay. Undeclared identifier OBS source type. Right. It's not a source, it's an input. Subs output. Add list. So yeah, this is how it looked. OBS type list. This would be sources. Regular source create. Let's return a value. Yeah. Create. No. Create. Do I really have to return a value? I don't want to create data. I don't want to create data. Mm. Right, very cool. Let's run OBS and see that we get a new source. Something is wrong. A vertex shader. Invalid param. It's got a problem with like direct show. Wow. Weird. Okay. Anyway, now we should get. No, something's wrong. Let's see the background. Where is it? Skipping module. Where is it? Okay, loaded successfully. Oh, look at this. Required value get width is not found. OBS raises doors failed. Okay. So we're gonna have to use get width. Let me see 1 second what we did in your rel source. Because in here, this is an input with an async video. So it didn't have, well, that's weird. Right, this thing needs get width. So let's give it get width. Int. I'm not really sure. Oops. UN32T. Get width and that height is also required. It's a video source and it's synchronous. It should really be consolidated into one file. Okay. All right. So we need get width and get height. They're required. So sure. UN32T. Get width. Look at get height. Get width. Get height. Fine. Let's say please get the void data. All right, we put them all the way up here. We just return 0 for now. Okay, let's build this and rerun OBS. Okay, ID. So only add input sources. Get output flags. OBS source get output flags. What are you planning here? Get output flags. Is this a thing? I don't even know. All right. Let's see if we got a new source now. Background removal mask source. Very cool. It doesn't even have properties. That's weird. We definitely added some properties in there. Weird. No properties. Cool. All right. At least it shows up. At least it shows up. Let's get output flags. I don't know if that's even a thing. Yeah, it is. Okay. Capability flags of a source. Output flags. Oh, look at that. That's cool. So we can take this output flags and then see if the source has video. Huh. A bitwise OR. Interesting. Okay, so ref lands. And if it's not an input, then okay, but then this is not. I mean, if I AND this with this one, this should equal to true, larger than 0. I mask it the bitwise order. So I mask it with this guy. All right. If the OBS source video is set in here, I mask it with this guy, I'm gonna get something that's I AND this with this guy. I'm gonna get something that's positive. Source video sources. What do you make of this? Copilot. It's not does not equals. It's not does not equals. It's something like this. Something like that. Let's see if this compiles. The other part of this is our properties. I'm adding this. If it is treated as an error, check opera precedence for. I think what it wants me to do is to do this because there's operator precedence. What do I need to do? There's nothing in here that I need to do to get the properties to work. I'm creating the properties. There's nothing that I need to do really. I can call update if I want, but that's irrelevant. Update is for us to take the properties into the settings. Or rather get the settings into our internal data. Weird, I got properties in here. I added a thing. I added a thing. I added a thing. Now what's going on? Weird. Let's see how OBS looks. This doesn't have any properties. Can't even click it. Where is it? Background removal seems fine. Added. Nothing else in here. Add sources for background removal. Okay. Not really sure why we're not getting anything. Maybe this can't be null. It's possible. This can't be null. I mean, could add like a struct. See what Copilot has for us. Nope. We'll do background mask source data. And it will have like a chart pointer background source. Something like that. Okay. And in create, we would make a new one like that. And sure, except I don't really know right now. And data. Okay. So this one is fine. Update, I get like, it's nothing. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could. OBS data get string, like background source, which comes from here, but I would need to BSDR dupe. BSDR dupe this thing and then get rid of it. Data get string. I'm pretty sure that we'll have to free it. Didn't say nothing. I don't say anything about be free. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I need to do the BSDR dupe. That's not that bad. Maybe we should just put this in update. Yeah, but also data. I need to cast this to a void pointer. Whatever, not that I think it's going to be really oh, this BGMS data is too big. All right, so let's try this guy like that. Let's call update. Something like that. It's very strange that I'm not getting any properties from the thing. It makes no sense to me. Let's have a look. There we go. Very cool. Source for background. That's way too much. We only need the ones that are capable of providing an output. So image makes sense. This is self-reference. We need to get rid of that. Media source is fine, but the other ones are not. The other ones are not fine. And a bunch of inputs. Return true. That's the list property. Name. Add name. And if they're not inputs, we discard them. If they can provide a video, this one and video does not equal video. This is a bitwise and, which makes some sense to me. And if we look here, probably needs to be, nope, I need that. Yep. Goes in there. Yep. Kind of just something like that. OBS source video just does this. They just do this, like output flag and video. So we could do that in here. So I would require, if this is not true, or it's not an input, throw it out. Okay, so let's try this. Way to dump the self-reference as well. I'm aware of that. Well, video source text, URL source text, URL source. LV subs, yeah, I think that's good. Polyglot LV subs. LV subs would be a text source, image and background. This actually makes sense. I think all of these have video output. So we can like select one. And yeah. All right, very cool. So now let's say we selected one, and our update thing should update it on our thing. Man, if the thing is wow. I mean, okay, so let's go on create and be like, nope, just be null PTR. All right, so if in here, this one is not null PTR, be free. Okay, something like that. Okay, let's say we selected one. Now, how do we get the video from that source? Wow, I don't even know if it's possible. It must be. It must be. Wow, this might be like very difficult to do, but it has to be possible. Let's see, we're going to have, all right, we may be able to get the other source to render on our get the other source to render on our render texture, and then we just show that texture. That's one way to do it. That's kind of how we do it in the actual filter. It's kind of how we do it anyway. I'm not worried. Source enabled. This is like the source. And yeah, that's where we do like a bunch of things like that. This is what we do. We get RGBA from stage surface. We need to get the source to render on our this enables of source. We get target, and then we'll set in our text render. And I essentially render the source onto the stage surface. And we're also mapping it to an input BG array. Get RGBA from stage surface. This is just self-referencing the source for the filter, but I can just have the source be a different source. We can get like a weak reference or something. We definitely reuse this. Get RGBA from stage surface. Okay. So let's say we have here it needs filtered data. It's filtered data. Now it's gonna have pretty much everything that we need, right? Filtered data. Filtered data is gonna have the text render, the stage surface, and all the other things. We also have like a model, which is what we need anyway. So a lot of this is just taking care for us for free. So okay, let's figure this out. So we got filter data. Now we need in nope. What I need is this guy. Get RGB from stage surface when we're doing the render. Okay. And that's pretty much it. This is the input part. All of this other stuff is the output part. This is the effect. This is like outputting. This is rendering. But this is the input. Get RGB from stage surface. What do we do in video tick? This is where we actually do the processing of the input in video tick. Process image for background. Which is cool. All right, so what we need to do in render, let's go and do something like that. Instead of TF, I need DMS data. BGMS data and BGMS source. Now update. There we get the source we got. We kind of just pick it out here, but we also need to get the reference. Get a reference to the background source. Oh, is this by name, right? Is something like that. Filter context? What are you doing? Forget parent? Nope. I get the background source. We need just BGMS data. Source. It was background source. Get source by name. Not sure that's how it's done. I'm not sure that's how it's done. Have a look. Data get string. Where do I get data get string? Yeah, no. Get data get. So this is text source name. Text source name. Where do I actually get the source? There we go. We get OBS source, get weak source, and then we release it. OBS source, get source. We get source by name, that's fine. And then we get source. Oh, we get source, and then we get a weak reference. But here we get a strong reference. Do we need to free this? No, because it doesn't belong to us. Okay, no, we do release this. Interesting stuff. Okay. So let's say we do that. We may want to get a reference. Get the background source. We get the source for a moment. And OBS log in here. If it fails, and then we got this one. I don't want to skip this. I don't care about the other source. I can just return here and do nothing. I need to release the source unless I'm getting a weak reference, which stays with me. Get source by name. So we got get source by name. Get source by name. Increment the source reference counter. Use release to release when complete. Release it when complete. I guess I can hang on to it. There's nothing saying that we can't. So, so it's whatever. So this is my name. Got this one. Let's just error out. It's fine. Here we'll do an if. Done. Won't render anything. Okay, let's try this guy. I need to include filter data. I need to include plugin support. .h identifier QMS data. Do this one. Let's see. Got OBS log. Not out of the woods yet. This one doesn't exist because it is in OBS util OBS utils. OBS utils. Let's see. Was able to compile. Let's see. I think if this works, we'll call this a day and come back to this at some point. All right, there's image. All right, they seem to be complaining much. Not a lot of complaints. That's fine. Of course, it's not doing anything. All right, we'll have to pick this up. It looks like we're on the right path. We're able to get this source. Not seeing a bunch of these errors. We're able to get this source. And so the next step would be to render the source to screen. And then if that works, then we know that our we can grab images from the other source. And then what we need to do is run the background detection on it so we can just provide the mask as an output. All right, pretty cool. This is nice. We're making progress, so let's just put this in here. We'll bring this up on the repo, and we'll pick this up pretty soon. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and I'll see you